everybody, I'm Tom Vasel. Welcome to Look Back. This is a series of videos that I do where I go back a year, 5 years and 10 years ago, take a look at the reviews I did during this time frame of the year, and I tell you what I think about them now, if I think about them at all. So here we go. We're going to start by going back last year. I reviewed a game I thought would be really cool called Fish and Chips. This is basically tossing chips onto a board and then doing some area control. It's pretty bad, unfortunately. Really nice components, but the game itself is just random throwing chips on a board. 4 out of 10. Okay, don't hate me here. So a year ago, we reviewed chess. Now, we just took a look at chess in the midst of everything. I give chess a 5. Now, you might say, objectively, chess is amazing and everyone loves it and it's a worldwide thing and you should rate it higher. I don't disagree, and there was a time I really loved chess, but I dislike it now. I give it a 5 out of 10. That's just a me rating. There's nothing bad about people who like chess, and I understand all the implications of chess in history. But for me, I just simply can't get past a game that's been studied so much that when I play someone, I'm going to lose or I'm going to win based on skill levels that just isn't as interesting to me anymore. Now, I did give it a 5. I am upping it to a 6 because my son loves chess. And that, even though I'm still not a big fan of it, that gives it a point in my book. Free Radicals. Free Radicals is a game in which everyone is playing their own mini game. So there's a base game, and then everyone has their own mini game. One person might have a little worker placement game. Another person might have a set collection game, a pickup and delivery game. This is the second time this has been done after Merchant's Cove. But this one I can only give a 6 out of 10 to because it has the same problems Merchant's Cove did, which is has all these cool little mini games that each person's playing, but when you take them each separately and compare them to the base game, they're not interesting really. All right, 5 years ago. A year ago I reviewed Fish and Chips. 5 years ago I reviewed Fish and Ships. This is not a very good game about betting on ships, unfortunately. Also not good, 5 out of 10. Jenga Pass, which oddly enough doesn't even have an entry on Board Game Geek that I can find. It's just underneath Jenga. But this is where you take a Jenga and you're building, but then you hold it and pass it to the next person. Yeah, that has all the problems that you might think. 5 out of 10. Star Wars Legion is now 5 years old. This is a Star Wars miniatures game. This one I give a 6 out of 10. I thought it was a fine miniatures game. And you get to play Star Wars. And I'm sure I haven't played with all the new stuff. I only played with the basic stuff that came out in the original set. And there's all kinds. They are supporting this game pretty well. But the reason that I would give it a 6 out of 10 is because I'm not a huge miniatures gamer anymore, especially ones where I have to put the models together and glue them together. For me, the game would have to be amazing to make up for that. And I didn't find this game to be amazing. I found it just a typical move around and shoot stuff. It is Star Wars, though, so some people are going to love it. Doggy Bag. Did you know Fagin, besides the orphans, organized groups of street dogs to go around and collect bones? Yeah, that's what this game is. There's some interesting ideas, but it's just a little more fiddly than I like, but it's close, 6.5. Mafia Zoo. This is a remake of Louis XIV, a game I did not like, but Mafia Zoo, for some reason, made me rethink it works a little bit better. The theme, Mafia in a Zoo, is a little wonky, but 7 out of 10. Stack-a-Bitty. I like this one. It's a little stacking game. And you're just trying to stack blocks without making them fall over. But they have these lines on them, and you have to match those lines up as it goes. So sometimes you're forced to put a block a little bit off more than you'd like to. That's fun. 7 out of 10. And The Sanctuary, Endangered Species. Man, this game is like a hidden gem if you can find this one. I give this an 8 out of 10. It's about building a sanctuary. There's some really interesting ideas, some kind of a cool concept of taking actions and giving other people actions, and beautiful artwork, and a cool thing about you building your own wildlife sanctuary. 10 years ago, I reviewed the game Meltscape, which has recently come back into the Dice Tower zeitgeist because it won the worst board game cover of all time. Unfortunately, the game also is trash, 2 out of 10. Urbanization. This is a Queen game about city building. It looks okay, right? But it just didn't grab me at all. In fact, I forgot it existed till I saw my review of it. 5 out of 10. Solitaire for 2. This was on our top 10 worst names for a game. I mean, Solitaire for 2. Me and Z played this back in the day. It is not a very good game. 5 out of 10. Chicken Caesar. So Chicken Caesar came out, and when I first saw it, I was a little worried because at the time I was designing nothing personal. I thought, oh no, my idea has been usurped in this game. You're trying to make your chicken become Caesar. But It's a different game. I don't particularly think it's a great game. It's okay. It's a lot of problems. It was one of the earlier Kickstarters, and so there's some of that in there. And it's more about, hey, the theme is funny, but more than the theme being funny, the game itself has to be interesting. Kingdom Builder. I've actually upped this a little bit. I gave it a 5.5. Now I give it a 6. I still don't love the game. I still don't like that you have one card and you have to figure it out. But consecutive builds on this, and the winter one kind of made me rethink it, so I'll give it a 6 now. Batman Gotham Strategy. Dropped this one just a bit, but this is an interesting game from Paul Lomori and WizKids. I wasn't expecting anything in this one. I was like, oh, hero clicks, you get a villain, but you are a villain and you basically have area control of Gotham, but Batman's also running around wreaking havoc. There's some nice little strategy in this one. It's worth, if you can find it, it's worth checking out. And then Dragon's Horde. I gave this one an 8. This is just a simple card game of sheep collection. It doesn't look like much, but I really like the concept. Sometimes a card game just grabs you, and this is one that, if it's not in the Dice Tower library, it was in the Dice Tower library for a while just because I thought it was unique and interesting. Anyway, those are the reviews that I did a year, 5 years, and 10 years ago. I'm Tom Vasel, and you've been watching Look Back on the Dice Tower.